Great people live mediocre lives because they don't know where they're going. They haven't crafted a vision for their lives that's more real to them than society's vision. And so they fall into the status quo, stumbling blindly towards a future that somebody else designed for them. Go to school, get a job you don't like, work all day to barely have enough money to survive, unable to protect your family, barred from doing the things you love, stuck in a prison cell of stifled potential. You feel it in your soul that you're meant for more than that. A wiser part of you intuits that you're supposed to do something meaningful on this earth and that you're actually meant to live a life of abundance, of beauty, and true impact. This week's essay is a guide to help you make that happen. The overall strategy is clarify your master vision, study your future self, and master the microcosm. Creating your ideal life is about becoming your ideal self. Start with the vision. The first step to creating a life that you love is seeing it first in imagination. Whatever you see up here will crystallize into physical form in time, right? We have to work towards it. So you have to have the destination in mind before you can actually create it out here. So here's a prompt that I would encourage you to journal about so that you can actually do that. Imagine that you were featured on the Forbes magazine a decade from now, and you were charged with writing an article all about your life story. In this article, you have to articulate like your accomplishments, what you achieved, what your impact was, and what you're doing now with your life. How did you get to where you are now? Who is this successful version of yourself? Really write about that ideal reality. Now, once you have that ideal reality, we can reverse engineer it into an actual plan together, which is what we're going to cover. So 99% of people never imagine their dream life, let alone actually create it. They fail to dream, and so their dreams fail. Your achievement, after all, is capped by your imagination. If you can see it in mind, you can hold it in your hands. Most people will fail to do much of anything in 2024, not because they're bad people, they just didn't listen to this week's essay. It turns out that if you don't choose a target and aim there, you will fail 100% of the time. If you want to make 2024 the best year of your life, you're going to need a plan. More importantly, you need a plan that's congruent with your vision, right? There needs to be coherence between the things you're doing and the master vision. You don't want to work on something all year only to discover that you've been summiting the wrong mountain. This actually happened to me last year. I invested in coaching. I talk about all of that, right? But the model that I was working on, hours a day for months was actually not compatible with the vision I wanted to create. And it wasn't until I really discovered my master vision that I realized that I was actually pursuing the wrong opportunity. So we can avoid years of spinning our wheels of like going down the wrong path if we have a clear vision. If you know what your ideal work is, for instance, you know what opportunities to go after, right? And you know which opportunities aren't actually aligned with that. So I was pretty much using paid ads to go to a webinar funnel and, do coaching that way. But I discovered that organic marketing is just so much better, more fun, more aligned with who I am. And it just feels more organic and real and like trustworthy than like paid ads to like a shitty webinar funnel. So I learned that the hard way, right? It took me a lot of time, a lot of money to discover that, but we can avoid that. And it starts by having a clear master vision. Your life today must be a microcosm of the ultimate reality. If you know you want to paint for a living, there is no reason why you should be focusing on dropshipping. If you know that you want to write or teach or inspire or speak for a living, there's no reason why you should be starting an SMMA. Yeah, these are all opportunities to get your bag, which is fine, but why would you spend your life doing anything other than what you love? The key to success is choosing a vision and working towards it for years. This is really what separates the amateurs from the professionals, from the virtuosos. You have to have a vision that inspires you, that it compels you, and then choose a path that you're willing to stick to for years. This is the key to success. It's not a shortcut thing. It's like, identify the microcosm. I know I want to speak for a living. I know I want to teach. I want to inspire. I want to sell digital products and services that actually help you guys. And so I'm going to do that now, right? Even if I'm not in my ideal reality, right? Even if I don't have the level of audience and income that I want yet, I'm focusing on doing what my higher self would do. I'm focusing on doing what my future self would do, which is writing these essays, recording them on podcasts and YouTube, distribute them to all platforms, living the microcosm. So 2024 isn't about creating your ideal life. Like, it's absurd to think that you're going to make that happen in a year. It's about laying the foundation to get there in 3 to 5 years. If you're not okay waiting 3 to 5 years to get what you desire, then you're simply not dreaming big enough. You don't actually have clarity on what your master vision is. Because if it's truly a master vision and you're like, yes, this is really what I want, then you should be, there's no problem like working on it for a decade. It's like it comes naturally. Of course, you might ask, well, I don't really know what my direction in life is. I don't know what I want. If you don't know what to work on yourself. Do the meditation, do the breath work, eat healthy, get in the best shape of your life. Everything's going to reveal itself when you work on yourself. So here's a journaling prompt for meeting your higher self, for getting to know your ideal self, just really understanding who this future Forbes magazine successful version of yourself is. The question to create a good plan is not how do I get there? It's who do I need to become? When we change, reality changes, right? When we start to become a different person, well, we're going to start getting different results. So the key to actually creating the life you want is becoming your ideal self, becoming your future self. So what skills does that Forbes magazine version of you have? What behaviors do they do daily? Like what is their routine like, right? What habits do they install into their lives? What actions do they take daily? Like do they create content? Do they do cold outreach for some service? Do they hop on sales calls? Do they write? Like what is the microcosm for you? What are the behaviors of your future self? Also, what beliefs do they have? They probably have really empowering beliefs around money and success and their own self-worth and their own trust. The key is essentially to lose your mind and to replace it with the mind of your future self. And the way we do this is by first understanding who they are. Once you have the vision, understand who you are in that vision. For instance, part of my vision is I want to work a couple of hours per day. I want to write. I want to record some videos. I want somebody else to edit them. I want to travel and hang out with my friends and host people and like host retreats and coach and things like that. So I'm going to do that now because I know that's my higher self. I know it's my future self. So my life now is going to be the microcosm. My day is the day of my future self. My skills that I'm cultivating are the skills that my future self has. The habits that I have. And, the waking up at 5 a.m. and working out and reading and meditating, all these things are what my higher self does. And so by having clarity on what my vision is and who I need to become ideally, well, I have clarity on the work to be done because the path forward is really just closing the gap between you and your ideal self. When you do that, when you start to slip into your highest timeline on the day-to-day, right now, this moment, that's when you really start to create your ideal reality. And it takes time. This isn't something like you're just going to slip into your ideal reality and you're going to manifest it immediately. I think there seems to be like a lag period between who you are and the results you get. Like it's like try, fail. Keep doing that, eating shit for 2 to 4 years, and then things just click. So the question is really like, what mission are you okay with failing for a long period of time at? You're going to eat shit for a long time probably. And if you love what you're doing, that's okay. Because even though you're not making money off of your writing, let's say your poetry, you're doing what you love. And in time, if you maintain that microcosm and you live in alignment with the vision, well, you're going to get to where you want to go. Do that journaling prompt, understand your higher self. What skills do they have? What behaviors do they implement into their days? What beliefs do they have? What does their ideal workflow look like? Like what are they working on day to day? And what does their ideal day look like? How do they spend their time? Okay, how much money they're making, all that stuff, understand your ideal self, and then obviously the work is to become them. If you do this accurately, you're going to have the foundation of your plan for 2024. This is how you create an effective routine and daily action items and set of skills and behaviors that you need to hone in on in the new year. So then we get into master the microcosm. Reality is a reflection of who you are, not what you desire. So you have to be ideal now. You have to be the kind of person who would get the results you want. And this takes being in congruence with the vision. If I don't have a vision, then I can't really live in congruence with that vision because it doesn't exist. So that's why we start with the vision always. Then you understand who you need to become, and then you master the microcosm, right? What is the microcosm? The microcosm is the small version of the ultimate vision you're trying to create, right? Like an acorn is a microcosm of an oak tree. It's the oak tree in a small version. It contains within it all the information, all the pattern of the oak tree. And in time, by the laws of nature, that microcosm will unfurl into a fully developed oak tree. So your day-to-day, your daily routine needs to be a microcosm of your vision. Your day-to-day, the thoughts you're thinking, the feelings you're cultivating in your body, the words you're speaking, and the deeds you are doing need to be in alignment with that vision. This is the microcosm. The microcosm is now. It's like, who are you being in this moment? After all, the moment is all we have. Like, this is an eternal now. If you really analyze it, it's not like there's like a past and a future. Like, it's just now. And so what emotions, what thoughts, what words, what deeds are you doing right now? this will give you a glimpse into the rest of your life. If you don't like what you see, we need to change. It's not about changing overnight. It's about making small changes. Okay, small daily actions done consistently over time yield staggering results. And so start small. So that's how you make a good plan for 2024. At least that's my process. I hope it works for you as well. Here's my plan for 2024 and what my intention is. It's January 2nd right now as I'm recording this, and I'm going all in on content creation. I think that this is the skill of the future. I think that understanding how to build an audience and build social leverage in the internet age is one of the most important capacities you could work on. If you have an audience, it doesn't matter what your vision is, it's going to amplify your impact and your income. I don't care if you want to do poetry or you want to do entrepreneurship. Having an audience will give you the leverage you need to create your ideal life. And so that's why I've written about this extensively in other essays and podcasts. Start building an audience, start creating content. Right? That is my intention for the year. You know, it's taken me a while to come to this resolve that like, okay, organic content is the move. This is really what I need to do. But I've tried paid ads. I've tried all this other crap. And I mean, I've learned a lot and I've had some success, but organic content is really the move. Like building an audience, building a community of people who just know you and like you and trust you is the future. Because this is how you build a business around your mind. Like whoever you are listening to this, you have infinite value stored in your imagination. And right, we talk about Russell Conwell's acres of diamonds. Essentially, your acres of diamonds is that which exists in your mind, your ideas, your imagination. This is infinite value. And if you can store it by articulating those thoughts, by organizing them in coherent essays like this and distributing them so that other minds can experience them, this is how you begin to extract that value. And then by launching like a digital product or coaching service or something like that, this is how you really unlock that value and turn it into dollars. I think that as we approach this exponential age of AI and the world gets crazy, having an audience is going to be such an important thing. And it's almost like the new iPhone. Like everybody needs an iPhone now. You need an iPhone in order to function in society or a phone. Personal branding is going to be the same way. Like you're going to need it in order to function in society. As we move away from labor and more towards creator economy, creator economy is just getting started and I'm all in. That's it for this video. As always, a bit of auto suggestion for you. You're capable of creating anything you want. You're capable of designing the life that you desire and making that happen because God created you in his image, right? Putting religion aside, this is just the way it is. You are a creator. You can bring into mind a vision and actually manifest it. And so dream big, believe in yourself, be lavish. Craft a vision that inspires you, that stretches your imagination. And then create it. For the good of you, for your family, for your community, for the world at large, we need heroes right now. We need people who are going to self-actualize and rise to the stratosphere of their highest self. You can give so much more when you're in your highest, when you're in your wealthiest, your healthiest, your most inspired. And so treat self-development as a service to humanity, not just to yourself. All right. Peace. Happy New Year.